Coretta Scott.
Coretta Scott King.
Coretta Scott.
Coretta Scott King was born April 27, 1927 in Heiberger, Alabama, to Obadiah Scott and Bernice McCurry Scott. Coretta Scott graduated valedictorian from Lincoln Normal High School and entered Antioch College in Yellow Springs, Ohio in 1945. She received a bachelor's in music and education from Antioch. She also attended Boston, New England Conservatory of Music, where she earned a bachelor's in music and music education.
It was while studying singing at that school that she met Martin Luther King Jr. after mutual friend Mary Power gave King her phone number when he asked about girls on the campus. She continued to see him regularly in the early months of 1952. But 2 weeks after meeting Scott, King wrote to his mother saying, "I've met my wife." So Coretta Scott and Martin Luther King Jr. were married on June 18, 1953 on the lawn of her mother's house. The ceremony was performed by Martin Sr. Coretta now had the vow to obey her husband removed from the ceremony. It was unheard of for that time.
During mid-late 50s, Miss King performed concerts and recitals throughout the South. She also conceived and organized a series of Freedoms concert as fundraising efforts to benefit South Christian leadership conferences throughout the 1960s. The critically acclaimed concert combined poetry, narration, and music to tell a story of the civil rights movement. During her lifetime, Miss King dialogue led of state, including prime ministers and presidents. She also participated in protests alongside working of all races. She traveled throughout the United States and the world speaking out on behalf of racial and economics justice, women's and children justice, gay and lesbian dignity, religious freedom, gun control, the needs of the poor and homeless, full employment, healthcare, educational opportunities, nuclear disarmament, and environmental justice.
In environmental justice.
And environmental justice.
In 1983, she brought together more than 800 human rights organizations to form the Coalition of Conscience, sponsors of the 20th anniversary March on Washington. Now, during this march, the primary legislative focus was the passage of the King holiday. Now, beyond establishing the King Center as one of her greatest legacy contributions, Mrs. King spearheaded the massive educational and lobbying campaign to establish Dr. King's birthday as a national holiday. Did you know that Dr. King holiday is the only federal service holiday in the United States?
After the passage of King's holiday, Ms. King requested the establishment of Martin Luther King Jr. Federal Holiday Commission, which Congress enacted in 1983 to provide oversight and bring unity to the celebration across the nation. She chaired the commission for its duration. In January in 1986, Ms. King oversaw the first legal holiday in honor of her husband, a holiday which is celebrated by millions of people in the United States and worldwide over 100 countries.
One of the most influential African-American leaders of her time, Mrs. King received honorary doctorates from over 60 colleges and universities. She authored 2 books, edited a compilation of selected quotes by Dr. King, maintained a nationally syndicated newspaper column, and served on and helped found dozens of organizations like the Black Leadership Forum, the National Black Coalition for Voter Participation, and the Black Leadership roundtable. Mrs. King died on January 30th, 2006. She was the first woman and the first African American to lay an honor in the rotunda of the Georgia Capitol.
This has been Black History Month movement brought to you by Black Excellence Leadership Council. Until next time.